many miles away from the center of Mecca, where people who are coming from Yemen or from the north, from the east or the west, have to assume their ihram before entering. But they just have to go outside of the precincts of Mecca itself. And the place which was designated by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was Tan'im. But it could be any place beyond those boundaries. Whenever one leaves any of the roads leading out of Mecca, there will be pillars marking where the boundaries of the sacred area, or known as the haram, ends. So once one goes beyond those boundaries, one may then enter into the state of ihram and come back in to make umrah. So, in conclusion, we can say that the making of umrah is permissible, and one should do so by going outside of the boundaries of Mecca. Furthermore, those who will be making Hajj and have to sacrifice, those who are not making Hajj and wish to sacrifice at home, it is recommended for them not to clip their nails or cut their hair from the beginning of the month of Dhul Hijjah until the time of the sacrifice, till the 9th. And Hajj, like Umrah, may be performed for others. Another question from Ali Mustafa in Dubai. Dear Dr. Phillips, Islam is very logical and there is always a good reason for things. However, I find it hard to understand why interest is forbidden to a Muslim. Of course, I accept it because it is the order of Allah in Quran. But I would be grateful if you would explain more on this. If we look at the arguments of the economists who hold that the economy of any given country is best when the interest rates are low. The lower the interest rates, the stronger the economy, the more vibrant it is. This is a basic principle in economics. Obviously, the higher the interest rates, the less viable the society is. There's more, it becomes weaker economically. So the raising of interest rates is harmful. Now, if we take interest rates down to zero, obviously this must be the greatest good. Interest has been prohibited in Islam because it is harmful to the society. It's particularly harmful to the weaker members of society. And as such, Islam has prohibited it and instead require us to deal with each other in accordance with business dealings wherein we share in losses and profits. This is the basic principles of Islamic business dealings. Why? Because the principle of interest is this, that I lend you a sum of money and you must return that sum of money with an additional sum after a period of time, regardless of whether your investment is successful or not. I don't care what investment what business you're starting. It is irrelevant to me. As long as you have a good credit rating, then I will lend you the money. You can do whatever you want with it. At the end of this period of time, I want my money plus. And don't come to me at the end of that period and tell me that a calamity has struck, a hurricane or a storm or earthquake, your business fell apart, and I'm not sorry for you. I'm not concerned with these issues at all. All I want is my money back plus. This is a very heartless approach. It is one which destroys the weak of the society, the weaker members of the society. If you look at the many people, for example, in America, the millions who are homeless, who live in the streets, many of them are people who are unable to make their interest payments. And so their homes were taken from them and they ended up out in the streets. Many of them. Interest payments are so much of a problem today in the society that the vast majority of Americans cannot even hope to own their own homes. Something which was a norm in the past, go back 50 years, 100 years ago, people, it was a vision, it was an idea that, most people had, and it was taken for granted. Today, the vast majority of people will not own their own homes. They can't even dream about it because of the interest. So, Islam has forbidden interest because of its heartless nature and because it strangles the society, it strangles the weaker members of the society, strangles Islamic growth, economic growth. So instead, when a Muslim engages in a loan of any sort, the person shares the loss because they become a partner in that business. So one, they will not give the money to anybody. They must know that the business itself is going to be a viable business. And when they give them the money, if a natural calamity occurs, which is by the will of God, we have no control over it, then the one who has financed the project will share in the loss. Proportionately, with regards to their investment, they will share in the loss. As they were happy to share in the profits, they should also be prepared to share in the loss due to things which are beyond people's control. With that, dear viewers, I'd like to thank you for being with us in another of the series, In the Light of Islam, in which we seek to answer your questions, your queries, and we hope that you will continue to write in to me, Dr. Bilal Phillips, In the Light of Islam, Sharjah TV, P.O. Box 111, Sharjah. With that, dear viewers, I bid you farewell. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.